Welcome back to Poetry and Friends. If this is your first time on this channel, what I do is that I talk about love topics that God has placed on my heart. And I normally talk directly to women. And I also update you on my writing business. So there's nothing wrong if a couple play around, if a couple joke with each other, because for a healthy relationship, a couple being really cool friends, it's really crucial since it's a long term relationship. So even though a woman has to submit, right? I've mentioned this before. It doesn't mean that the woman is supposed to be a slave to the man. If that happens, I feel like God is even going to be angry about that. So that doesn't mean the woman can tease the man or play around with the man. Even for me, I am a playful person. So if the man is too serious, can laugh. So it's good for a couple to be playful. And then even though it's good for a couple to be really cool friends, best friends, right? There are certain jokes that couples shouldn't say to each other, especially since we all know that respect is very important to a man, right? There are just certain comments or jokes that us women, we need to be attentive to some of these words that we use towards the man. So let's just find out some things or some jokes that we shouldn't joke about with a man. A funny comment about is vulnerability. For example, the man told a woman about a tragic incident that impelled him to cry. So maybe he told her that, oh, something really happened to me. And oh man, I was really emotional about this. I cried. And then he told the woman that men cry sometimes, men cry. So he was vulnerable enough to tell this woman about him crying because of an incident. So one time the woman and the man, they're playing, and let's say the woman is teasing the man because the man was looking for something, right? Meanwhile, he was holding that thing that he was looking for. So they ended up laughing, and then she's just teasing him like, oh, I can't believe you, like you had this in your hand all the while, laughing. So they're both laughing, and then abruptly the woman tells him, you know what, let me just stop laughing at you before you start to cry. Or, you know what, well, let me stop because you're really good at crying. Or the man was vulnerable enough to tell this woman that his biggest fear is for him to wake up one day and then the woman walking out of his life. So the man told her, and then one time they're play arguing, and then the man says something that caused the woman to tell the man that, you know what, all right, I'm leaving. She was just playing around saying she's leaving. I'm leaving. And then she said, oh, you know what, let me stop before I scare you. Things like that. Most men find it very hard to be vulnerable with a woman because men are taught to be strong. Some men feel like being vulnerable is weak. And I'm not saying that it's a good thing for men to think that being vulnerable is weak, because I do know that with the right woman, the woman won't find vulnerability to be weak, but they would rather find it to be attractive, because being vulnerable is being your authentic self, right? But most men do find them being vulnerable as weak. So if a woman makes such a joke, that would really shrink his manhood, and he would not like that type of joke. I made you who you are joke. The man came back from work and then he's talking to the woman and he says, today at work, I did so good. I did this presentation. I did really good. Everyone was cheering me. He's playing around and he says, yeah, I'm the man. I'm the man. You need to stop playing with me because I'm the man. Something like that. He's playing. And then let's say the woman was the one who helped the man, and maybe she found a job and then she introduced the job to the man, something along the lines. So the woman ends up laughing, right? Like laughing along with the joke. And then she said, oh, you are so hype. You think you're the man? Remember, I'm the one who made you who you are today, all right? I'm the one who helped you to get that job. The man would probably laugh because he doesn't want to spoil the mood. But then once he's left alone, he would probably be thinking that this woman doesn't respect me. Yeah, so if I'm gonna keep playing around with her for her to be constantly disrespecting me like this, I might as well just not play with her anymore. Because we're supposed to look highly at the man. So if the woman feels like she's the one who made him, that is kind of like the woman having the power over the man. So she's looking low at him. So even though the woman was playing, he wouldn't like such a joke. That's how you always are joke. The woman is having a conversation with the man. So the woman is saying, yeah, so can you believe it? This man was trying to get with Cece, and then Cece did this. And the man ends up asking that, wait, I thought Cece was married. And then the woman starts to laugh that, oh no, it's not that Cece. See, I was talking about the single Cece. So they start to laugh. And then the woman says, that's okay because you're always confused. Or you just never get anything. He might not say anything, but deep down, he'll be really hurt because it's kind of like the woman organically categorized him as him being limited to qualification, him not being good enough. Because the woman says he is always like this, he is always confused. So he would be thinking that, does this woman find me to be impactful? Yeah, so when that happens, he would probably be reluctant to play with this woman the next time. What do you know about that? Joke. So the man normally talk with full sentences, right? Full words. He doesn't use slang words. One day he decides to use slang words, playing around with it. And then both of them are just laughing. And then she said, what you know about that? Laughing, right? Being sarcastic. For cases like that, what the woman could do is, as they're laughing, if she wants to make a comment, she could say something like, I can't believe you said that. You usually don't talk like that. Something like that. Because just because he doesn't talk like that, right? It doesn't mean that he doesn't know about it. So if she says, what you know about that, and laughing, right? That is kind of like she's questioning his intellect or his capability. So it's kind of like any comment that is like he doesn't know what's up or he's not on that level yet. He would not like that because that would hurt his ego, even though she is playing, because man love to be around a woman who makes them feel good. You need to step your game up. Comment. Let's say the man has put clothes together, like, so he's laughing and then he's saying, these clothes probably don't look good together. He said, yeah, I just want to know your thoughts, but I feel like this looks funny. So he's laughing. And then she starts laughing like, this man cannot dress. Like she's laughing. And then she says, yeah. you need to step your game up. Or she said something like, yeah, my baby needs some work to do. And then she's laughing. What the woman could do is, as they're laughing, she would probably say, oh, I think that top would look better, something like that. But such a comment like he can dress, that would really hurt him. And he would probably be thinking that, ouch, this woman really thinks I'm inferior. And then men are supposed to be superior, right? So yeah, he's really going to be thinking like, yeah, she feels like I need to be better. So he would not like such a joke. So I have just shown you 5 things that a woman shouldn't joke about with a man. One last thing. Well, this is it. And it says, get well soon. Keep going regardless of the situation because you're a fighter. Always keep that bright smile. Your future is even brighter. He's with you, so never feel alone. I'm talking about the gorgeous God sitting on his throne. He will be your guide. Most importantly, never leave your side. So you could get this for somebody. Let's say if the person is not feeling good or the person has gotten into a tragic incident, you could give this to the person that God is on your side. Thank you so much for staying to the end. I really do appreciate it. Like always, subscribe for more videos. And if God permits, see you when I upload my next video. Bye-bye.